And I think I got to play
Luckily
like...
for Auriga, they sleep. We didn't understand them. Didn't even know where they came from. We couldn't control them. So in desperation, we contained them. What if they break free? With their power, hatred, and paranoia. Then Auriga will weep, as she has never wept before. Tears enough to fill the salt seas.
So cool. Let's get good. I am the Gamer Under Development, and we are playing Endless Legend with the latest Endless Legend community patch. I just double-checked that after the trouble we had last time. That is ELCP 2.3.8S3. That should be the current version. And we're getting ready to start a new campaign. We are going to be on serious difficulty against 6 other factions, and we're using islands this time because we're going to be playing as the Morgawr. And if you don't use islands, it's honestly a really rough start for them. So let's just real quick go through who the Morgawr are with you guys, and then we'll look at our traits and we'll hop into the game. So the Morgawr victory condition is typically expansion. They are constructed creatures that broke out of their prisons deep beneath the oceans. The Morgawr are driven to seek the surface by forces they do not understand. Once the planet is theirs, however, their ambition may not be sated. Alright, so we have settler units with them. They actually do have settlers. That's important to note, because some of the factions really don't, like the Mykara and the cultists, rather. So then we also have the Mastermind as our first combat unit, fast and with an excellent vision range. The Amphibious Mastermind is solid in defense, but particularly useful for unmasking enemy plans by spotting camouflage or hidden units. That's actually something I didn't realize. The Vor is a solid fighter, but its great strength lie in its toughness and its ability to automatically lift its armor and improve defenses when attacked. That's very cool. And then we have the Leviathan. This giant creature of the deep is a dangerous foe whose powerful strikes can come at any moment. It can move stealthily, then rise up to attack its target from the depths. So that's like a submarine, basically. And we're very, very naval-based if you haven't figured that out yet. Let's look at Neptunian here. Only trusting the waters, this faction has faster, stronger troop transport and can disembark and embark anywhere. Free embark, disembark, improves transport ships, unlocked by the shipyard technology. So once you get the shipyard technology, you can free embark, disembark, and you have improved transport ships. It's very important to note, guys, that their governors and heroes make great naval generals, just because, well, I guess they'd be an admiral then. They make great admirals because they can move your embarked units super fast, like a taxi across the water, so they're very useful for everyone for that regard. Riders of Wild Winds, +4 movement on water on units during the dust eclipse. That's extra useful. I'm not going to read the flavor text to each one of these because I do want to get into the game this episode. Driven, okay, maybe I will. I'm wrong. Maybe I will. Some of them I want to read. Driven by a fear of drying out and turning to lowly dust, this faction is most productive close to water, so +2 production and science on terrain with a sea or lake, and +1 production and science on terrain with rivers. That's actually really good. Seeds of Dissent, seemingly content and pacified minor faction villages in neutral regions can be instigated to rise up and cause trouble, can make pacified villages hostile again. That's super cool. Breaching Wave, Empire Influence. By learning how to exploit the psionic powers of dust, Morgawr can locally break the systems designed by their jailers to inhibit their mental powers. +1 influence on Citadel, +1 influence on revealed facilities. There's our Mastermind right there. We'll look at them more when we get in. Aquapulvistics, we kind of know what that is. That's just the tech. Cat's Paw is very important here. Masters of Mind Control and Suggestion. Roaming minor faction armies can be controlled by the faction for their own nefarious purposes. Can take control of roaming armies or fleets. Can identify other empires, privateers, or armies controlled by Cat's Paw. That's another nifty little trick. Sea Traders. Masters and mistresses of the seas in all their forms, this faction will not trade on land. Trade on the sea provides dust and science bonuses. Some technologies are modified. Era 2 technology Imperial Highways cannot be researched. Era 3 technology Cargo Docks is moved to Era 2. That's awesome. And then the Black Spot. Cursing a selected major faction with the black spot gives any empire that destroys units of that cursed empire extra dust. Unlock the diplomatic declaration, the black spot. So that basically allows us to incentivize other people attacking our enemies. And that's kind of a theme with the Morgawr. They can mind control minor factions, they can give people a reason to attack other major factions. They're very powerful in that regard. So pretty much everything left to normal here. We did put it to serious and fast. And we are playing against 5 other factions, and we're going to jump right in there now. 5 other factions, our world size should be fine, right? Yeah, we're fine. Okay, here we go. Jumping in. I honestly don't have very much experience with the Morgawr, guys, so this will be very interesting. I know that the Cat's Paw, or not that, yeah, the Cat's Paw ability is very strong, but it requires a lot of influence, I believe, to keep those things mind-controlled. So influence is something we should probably bend ourselves towards if we want to take advantage of that fully. We also want to make sure that we take care of our naval advantage and try to capture those naval facilities as soon as we possibly can, because they'll make a big difference for us, probably more than for any other faction. I love that, look at this, the Morgawr are like pulling the Vultures off their boats to kill them. There's the Leviathan up there. This is very, very Cthulhu themed, which is another thing I love about the Morgawr, even though I don't, like I said, have that much experience with them yet. I've played them a few times, but like, the reality is they came out right before the LAE did, and I think I got to play
Luckily
like...
for Auriga, they sleep. We didn't understand them. Didn't even know where they came from. We couldn't control them. So in desperation, we contained them. What if they break free? With their power, hatred, and paranoia. Then Auriga will weep, as she has never wept before. Tears enough to fill the salt seas.
So cool. So cool. So essentially, the Endless found the Morgawr when they got here, from the sound of that, and they are a very, very cool Cthulhu-y themed faction, and I love it. Okay, we don't see any rivers here, so we're going to want to settle on the edge for sure. The question is, where on the edge do we want to settle? I'm going to look at our Fidzy here. Making sure to grab these two would actually be a pretty good start. We could also bend our way down there. However, what we should do first is search this ruin. And I think what I'm gonna do... I'm trying to remember exactly how this trickery works here. So... we're gonna search this ruin to start with. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull our settler out first. Then I'm gonna pull out one of our masterminds. And then I'm going to search this ruin. In order to do this correctly, you must first be in control of the region. Okay. Within a rock in a hard place, there are enough engravings and diagrams around this ruin that even an idiot can understand it. Somewhere in the region is an enormous chunk of glass steel contains a beautifully forged weapon. Only the cleverest amongst you, however, figured out that this was the work of a smith who thought he could kill the demons in his mind by stabbing a large block of glass steel. Apparently, even the ancient peoples of the planet were given to flights of madness, so don't feel bad if you're having one of those these days. In order to do this correctly, you must first be in control of the region of Ramph. We should be in control of Ramph if this is... yeah, we haven't established a city yet. We will soon. Okay, that's fine. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use these guys to kind of explore a little bit. And then when we're ready, we'll move our hero over here to search that ruin. We do have this other mastermind here that is kind of spent. I guess we could move it down this way. Yeah, let's move it down this way. So we've located the Ursies. I hope that is the neighboring village. That's not our miner. Our miner is the Jodas. They shouldn't be too hard to beat down or to otherwise control, but they're also not great. And as you can see, there is a little bit of a river running right there, but otherwise our region is pretty straightforward. I think what we're going to do is probably start... So we have to be careful, because we can do a lot with the water, right? The water actually provides us with a lot of benefits, but if we started, say, right here, you have to think about how our district's built out, and that would just not be a positive experience for us building out districts. However, if we start here and then we build across this direction, that would do us some good. It would mean that these were out of our first line, though. So if we made those our first line, then the catch would be we'd want to be somewhere like right here, so that we could build straight across there. And I think that might be what we go for with our settler here. Let's look at what we can gain. 21 food, 5 production. That's very limited on production. Very, very limited on production. See, that's a much better start production-wise. Dang, look at how good that is, guys. I'm tempted to actually just take that. Like, take it at face value. See, that's a pretty decent start. But then we're building across, and we're running into that ruin, and that's just not very fun either. 21 food there is kind of crazy. I mean, that is a lot of growth very, very quickly. We're just limited on production. However, that production limitation can be made up for in one burrow, so I think we'll do this. I think we'll go here. Sadly, we do not have any happiness anomalies or anything in our region. So I'm going to go ahead and settle right there with them. That'll be fine. Okay, so that gave us control of Ramp, which gave us 15 spices. A weapon was lodged, we know that. Now that the region is secure, you must build a glass steel extractor on the deposit in order to get the weapon. That sounds fine. Let's do that. So I'm gonna move him over here. And I think, no, they're out of movement now. So I'm gonna have our hero jump over to this army now. Let them search this ruin. 10 gold. Okay, it's not great, but it's something we can work with, and then we're gonna head up this way and try to see what we can do with this minor faction. We obviously won't start with the parlay tech or anything. We do want to come in here, though, to get started and put down our Founders Memorial, because that's gonna be a big, big boost to our production overall. We're already gonna gain a population in 1 turn, so I'm gonna set us into production instead of setting us into food, as that will shave 2 turns off of our Founders Memorial, and we'll still get that instant growth. Dust filtration here is actually something we can start with, which is great, because there is a ton of dust. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the dust, I believe you use influence to cat's paw things, but you pay dust for them, and they cost a lot of dust. So if we can actually generate a lot of dust up front here, then it'll make up for the huge amount of dust that's going to cost us later. It looks like we do have a river running through that tile, and that tile. So if we actually stretch our way down there, we can get some nice advantages from that too. We also know the Ursies are right here, and we know that this is a lava region. That could be a bad thing, but it could also be a very good thing, and I'll explain why in just a second. Before I do, though, we should honestly go in here and mess with our masterminds and give them the movement increase. There we go. Improved movement is going to make a big, big difference for them getting around. And yeah, we'll retrofit that guy for 21. Are we sure? Yeah, that's fine. We're going to retrofit him for 21. That'll just give him a little bit of extra movement so that he can scout a little bit better. These guys we can upgrade later, but I'm going to leave them for right now. And then, wow, we could just out the gate pop both of those. That wouldn't be terrible. Actually, I'm definitely going to pop the food one out the gate. I probably could have waited on that now that I think about it, but it's okay. And the dust one's actually not terrible either, but the dust upkeep on our city is probably nothing right now, really. What is our dust upkeep, game? Show me the dust upkeep. -10, so that would -5 dust, so we would potentially gain another 5 dust per turn. That's actually substantial. It's enough that I'm considering popping that too. Let's go for it. Yeah, 7 extra, or 5 dust extra every turn is really nice this early on. Oh yeah, we should probably do science, guys. Science is a thing. We should probably do that. Totally didn't forget science. Okay, so we're going to go with Mill Foundry to start with, as we kind of always do, just because it's really strong. I'm also going to grab Cultivation, and then after Cultivation and Mill Foundry, which are our 2 basis ones, we're going to get the... Actually, we have a quest for this, so we'll get the Alchemist Furnace second, then we'll get Cultivation, then we will get our base science building, which is going to be... +2 on terrain with science, +10. This may actually be a better science building for us in the long run than this one. But the +10% science here is actually really strong, so I guess we'll get that. Then we'll get dust. And then, of course, after that, we will make sure to get... Well, somewhere in there we should get the parlay tech. Let's get the parlay tech... right there. Yeah. Let's make that 3. I was gonna make that 2 in the queue just because we really, really want to get the other tech going, but at the same time, like, we do need that for the quest. We need that to parlay with our miner faction, although we can just mind control them when they come out, I guess. That's fine. Alright, we're good. Let's do it. Morgawr awakens. Darkness. Moves heads, limbs, presses out, grabs, crushes, twists, breaks weakened bars, shattered cracked glass. Morgawr moves. Freedom, after uncountable years, flees the structures, the caves, into the water, dark water, too cold, too dark, hides too many enemies, too many memories. Freedom, Morgawr moves in the darkness, finds others, so few, rises, seeks the light, seeks air, land, fire, the forge, walls, weapons. These are strange images. Memories? Morgawr remembers the time in prison, asleep but aware, the horror of immobility, impotence, imprisonment. Must breathe the air, use fire, build and conquer, spread across the world, never to be imprisoned again, never to let a power survive that can imprison, never to be the weaker. Morgawr grows. That's so cool! Like, just thinking about the different way that story is written for them is kind of awesome, in my opinion. Exploit at least one sea tile with one of your cities and research the Vor technology. That is our new objective. Alright, that's fine. So we're gonna work towards the Vor, apparently, which means that we also need that. So considering that this is a faction quest thing, we're gonna make the Vor first. Then we'll get our glass steel, then we'll get this, then we'll get food. That should be okay. Population has grown to 2 in Ranf. Awesome. It'll continue to grow next turn. Better advantages to staying in production or science. Production, for sure, here. And then we'll get a burrow that we'll probably put there. No, it makes more sense to put it here. That'll net us even more food and a little bit of happiness. Was I wrong? Is there a happiness boost there? There is. The Earth Tower provides happiness. That's incredible. Okay, so I probably should have built a little closer to there, but this is still really, really good for us. And I'll move that probably up right there, because next turn we'll start on our mill foundry, and that'll get us going closer and closer production-wise to being able to smash that out quickly. We have discovered the Nidya, probably in this volcanic region. That is true. There is a nice river running through this volcanic region. As you can see, food in volcanic regions, very, very sparse. Food can actually be a bit of a problem there. However, set that aside, and volcanic regions are really, really good. Like, excessively good. They have so much production, guys. So what I'm gonna try to do there is we're gonna try to get it, and the reason we're after it is because once we hit tier 2, I believe it is, we should gain the ability to, it might actually even be with this. Yeah, that'll give us the husbandry center. So once we get the husbandry center, if we build that in this region, we will have a region that has a ton of production and a ton of food. Volcanic regions are actually really great. Let's try that out. Okay, ending our turn. That's what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna push for that. And we should definitely be looking at building a settler very soon. I think after our first empire plan, we are gonna start building a settler for sure. How much do we need to get the things that we want in that first empire plan? It would be 30 to get everything. We are currently generating 1 per turn. However, with the 3 pop we have, we could generate 7, so we would only need 3 turns right now to get to the best empire plan we can have, so we're not really worried about that too much. We can get the Vor in 1 turn. We cannot get a pop in 1 turn, but we can get real close. So let's see if we can get the Vor in 1 turn and get some production. Yes, we can. That's nice. Right there is just fine. Although, it may actually be better to shave off 2 more turns on our mill foundry. I think we'll do that instead. That's just more worth it. Or is it? It is. It is. The production is right now just because we need to get things through that queue and gone. Like, I don't want that queue to just kind of sit there, because all that's going to do is create problems for us. Oh, this is lovely, guys. Just lovely. And we cannot move our hero over here to get XP from that yet, which is very, very sad. Let's move them this way then. we'll probably, yeah, we're gonna run out of steam there, which is fine, and then we're gonna hopefully move into the parlay tech relatively soon. But I would honestly just like to reassign our hero over here if I can. He's down for 3 more turns, though. Probably not the best idea to send him up this way. Okay, well, search the ruins anyway. We'll take the extra 30 dust. We can probably do something very good with that early on. And like I said, this region right here, though, is looking very, very nice, guys. Just look at that for a minute and imagine that food was not an issue here. Because we can get around food being an issue here. Wait a minute. Are the waters not even having of food? -1 from volcanic taint. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Okay, so we can't take advantage of that exactly, which is nuts, because I thought we could maybe get food off the water. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, though. So instead, what we're going to have to do is build food improvements very quickly there, which is fine, because we should have a ton of production there, too. Yeah. Alright, so let's do that and end our turn. Boink. So we'll have Vor next turn in our available things to build. We're still going to want to get that mill foundry out first, and probably that burrow street if I'm being honest. We could buy out the mill foundry here, but it's only going to take 2 turns, so that seems kind of haphazard. 41 dust. How much dust does that take? 69. That takes 290, so we're not going to generate enough dust that it's like, whatever. We could potentially just push through with production. However, if we buy that out, it will shave 2 turns off of this, meaning we'll get the burrow in 3 turns, which may not be a terrible idea since we don't exactly have the best uses for dust right now anyway. I'm going to do that. I'm going to push the foundry out quicker, and then get these guys down here to explore these ruins. Gosh, I wish we had sent our hero down there. Maybe we can also... Are we completely dust empty now? We are. We're kind of dust empty now. That's unfortunate. If we could upgrade our hero's combat gear a little bit, we could try just attacking that minor faction. He does, I believe, have... When dying, the targeted friendly unit deals damage to all nearby opponents. Damage is equal to 30% of its life. Okay, that's pretty good. So he has a great support spell, and he has a range of 3. We could put him and that mastermind into combat with this miner and try to just take them out here. But I'm still not entirely sure that that's actually the best thing to do. Like, I feel like we can just wait, because we can always just take control of their units. In which case, we should just keep moving through here and exploring. That's probably a much better idea, to be honest. Okay. And then you guys explore those ruins. You will have to raise your empire to a new industrialization level. Progress is not merely in science, but in putting science to practical work. To leave a great legacy for history, assuming that there will be a future, you need to bring your people into a modern era by improving their level of industry. Produce 40 industry in one of your cities for 10 turns to get 15 influence. Well, that should be really, really hard, guys. Really, really hard. We are already producing 21 industry. We will have another population next turn and another industry improvement. So the idea that we're not going to be able to hit that in any capacity is kind of a joke. Okay, so we have the Vor now. Our mill foundry is done. We are working on the burrow street. The Morgawr have awakened and destroyed the places that held them prisoner. To continue their war for freedom, they need stronger cities and better armies. Morgawr breathes slowly. Panic is over, but still vulnerable. There is no hope as long as there are others, if the others are strong. Morgawr is not in chains, but is not free. Free means unchallenged. Free means unthreatened. Freedom costs. Must grow. Be stronger. Be crueler. Freedom is having no equals, having no threats. The fortress is threatened. Built by the jailers, smelling of the jailers, run by the jailers' beasts. Fortresses must be taken, controlled, conquered, mastered. Fortresses can never be trusted. Start there. Make the fortresses grovel. Never trust the fortresses, the smell of the jailers. What other creations of the jailers might be lurking within them? Morgawr rises from the waters, spies the fortresses, opens the door, climbs the walls, silent, merciless, cold, relentless, sees the terror in the eyes of the jailers' beasts. Morgawr is content. Oh, I love these guys. They're very cool. Main Maritime Academy, plus 80 when recruiting a naval unit. -2 dust per turn, needs an exploited sea tile to be built. Okay. Is that an actual, like, physical structure, though? No, it's just an improvement. Sad times. That would have been really cool if it was an actual physical structure. I'm gonna move over here, because we do see some spices. I want to make sure that we're... Yeah, okay, so that is exactly what's there. Just straight-out spice deposits. which is awesome. We like that. Let's go ahead and move over here with these guys now. Probably could have discovered that with this army up here instead, but it is what it is. It's funny to me that they're just like, yo, let's just embark. It's faster. So they're gonna embark here. They don't care. Another population has been gained in Ramf. Excellent. And we are 2 turns out from pop growth. 2 turns out from our burrow streets. Very, very close to our 40 production we need to get that quest completion already. And we could potentially put a Vor in the top slot just to get that going. I do want to look at the equipment available to us and see if maybe we can upgrade that Vor a little bit. Submersible Slayer, Acid Spray. I like Acid Spray better, I think. Let's see. Deals 25% damage to the target and opponent next to both the target and the attacker. Minus 10 defense for... Oh yeah, that's really good. We want that. And then let's look at the body. We can go with that. And we also have an option of the plating or the hydrofoils. I'm going to go with the hydrofoils here because with the acid spray, us getting initiative means a lot more. And then we'll probably end up with Fomorian Slayer there just to keep it simple. And we're going to pop out 1 Vor here. Wow, that's going to take a lot of turns. I'm going to let the Burrow Street finish first. Okay. And I am actually going to go look and see when our next settler should be coming out, which is very soon. Let's see how long it takes us to put out a settler. 3 turns right now. And our next Empire plan is in 4 turns, and we have 7 influence. But we could have more. We could go like that, and that would give us 10 influence per turn, which would easily get us to our 30 in no time. So we'll wait. We don't really need to rush into influence right now. We're going to stay in production. Yeah, we'll stay in production, and that should be okay. And you guys can continue exploring down this way. We do want to settle that, and having our settler in queue will be done in 4 turns exactly, which is perfect. And then we'll send it down here, and we'll probably settle in this area right here. Although we could settle along this river somewhere as well if we wanted to get some of the advantages from those river hexes, like, we could do the lava chimneys right there if we wanted. Although I still feel like we're better off starting up here where there's this huge production and science boost, because we can use that massive production boost to get straight into our food improvements, and that should make things a lot easier for us overall. Although there's also really good production there. There's just better science up here. It's good everywhere in this region, gosh. The lava regions, guys, they're very, very good. They are, like, ridiculously good. The only catch-22 to the lava regions is that you do need to get that husbandry center down if you want to stay in them early. Because otherwise they're very hard to survive in. Just from a population standpoint. That's okay though, because we should be into the husbandry center by the time we get there, I would imagine. Alright, ending our turn. Burrow Streets is done, and we are working on a settler. It'll take 2 turns to get that settler out. If we bump the settler down there, we can have population in 2 turns instead. I feel like the settler is probably a better build, though. And we do have another burrow available already. We could go right here. We could go right here. That's not going to give us as much. That's going to give us a little bit more, I think, but this is probably the best for right now. Yeah, so we'll put another burrow down right there, and we will prioritize that probably directly after our settler. We do need to get that Vor out for our faction quest, and we will. We will, guys. 3 turns until our next Empire plan. Let's go ahead and move everybody into influence. We only need to do that, though, for like 1 or 2 turns, I think. Ooh, we have that settler in queue, though. So that's going to be done in 2 turns. So let's go 5, 10, 15, 24 within the next 3 turns. But that'll be done in 2, and then we can switch someone else over. That'll be fine right there. Okay. You guys keep going this way. What are you? What are you? What are you? Heresies, okay. Heresies we're not super excited about. We don't really want anything to do with them. Is that the Alayi? Are the Alayi right up in here? It looks like the Alayi are probably very, very close to us. Either that, or they're just very quick to explore with those skyfins. It could be either. I believe that's actually one of their big strengths. Okay, let's bring this guy over here to do some searching. I'm gonna turn the Fidsy display off. Sorry, guys. I have a tendency to leave that on for way, way too long. Here is the titanium that we need, because we only have glass steel in our starting region. However, that region's not very great, and it's not something we're necessarily going to be chasing right away, although it kind of should be now that I think about it. I still want to get this region. I think getting this region is much more important than getting the titanium at the moment, but that's just my personal opinion. Okay, ending our turn. I'm gonna get this region first, guys. I think getting that volcanic region rolling could be a huge boon for us. Alchemist Furnace is done, and we are working on Language Squared. Accept our greetings, stranger. Yeah, sure, whatever. You should get out of our turf, though, because we'll kill you. Badly. Actually, can we... Yeah, we can't mind control enemy units. That would be really, really strong. Alright. Dismiss that. Hero has leveled up to 2. Let's go ahead and start him down whatever path we want him on. Realistically, he has influence boost, which is nice. He has spying 3, and he has fortification boost. So we can go this way and make him sort of a taxi fleet commander. Or we can go this way and make him sort of a governor that provides some extra happiness. I think they're honestly stronger as these fleet commanders, in my opinion. But that only affects transport ships. Yeah, so I don't know about that. I think early on maybe we'll go with the governor just because we don't know. So that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and give him a point right there. Call that done. And what else can we do this turn? We can search this ruin. We've been after this ruin for turns. Oh, there's titanium right here, too. One of the armies roaming in Elmchia has the treasure that you seek. Find the army, defeat it, and make the booty yours. You were following indications drawn from local legends that spoke of loot and treasure in heavily guarded ruins. It seems, however, that someone else has beaten you to the booty. Okay, so I don't know where the person we're supposed to fight to get those is. Oh, they're down here somewhere. Good, that's what we needed. We needed 2 more Rumbler armies to spawn in that region that we wanted to cap. That's brilliant. Thanks, game. Thanks, I appreciate that. Okay, we're gonna head him over there to get that titanium, and that is gonna be it for this turn. And unfortunately, guys, that is gonna be it for this episode, because we are out of time now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. I am very, very sorry that we had to start a new series like this, but I'm worried about continuing on that other save because it is potentially borked. And it is apparent that we need to, first of all, move somebody over so that we can get the requisite influence. Oh, that's only going to give us 28. We're going to be just shy. Just shy because we lost that 1 population. Go figure. Okay. Well, that's fine. So we'll do that. We'll also bust this settler. Well, we'll do that next episode. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the episode, go ahead and click that like button. If you want to see more of our great content ranging from 4X to Fire Pro Wrestling, go ahead and click that subscribe button and make sure to ding that bell notification, because every time you ding that bell notification, another Morgawr escapes imprisonment and climbs to the surface. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!